Señoras and señores, welcome to the Chelsea Senior Center. Today we will be celebrating the phenomenal women in the Chelsea community as a collective whole. Women are phenomenal, we celebrate you, but who better than Dr. Maya Angelou to set the tone for women to be inspired not only by the mishaps in life, and taking those mishaps and making it be an inspiration for you to be a stronger woman, especially in this generation of women. We want to share with you, we want to give you these jewels. These jewels from Dr. Maya Angelou will take you through the rest of your life and give you a foundation of feeling secure and confident as I stand here today to let you know that a confident woman is a very productive woman. And so we will be celebrating all of that today. Here's Miss Marian Ramos to explain everything to you in her Espanol.
I am so glad to see you all. Estoy muy feliz de verles. Can we have an applause for you? Un aplauso para ustedes. And I want to also call an applause for Celeste Williams, who is the founding mother of this program. La fundadora de este programa, Celeste Williams. Lo que ella acaba de explicar es que la poetisa Maya Angelou es una persona ejemplar para todos nosotros como mujeres, como personas que tienen que luchar y superar. Y ella dice en sus poemas, yo soy una mujer fenomenal. Cada persona aquí también puede ser fenomenal y así con confianza y ser muy productivo en su comunidad. So, my director Tracy is not with us today. I'm sure she's sorry she's missing this, but you'll see it on TV. La directora Tracy no está aquí con nosotros hoy, sin duda se siente la falta, pero nos va a ver en la televisión. So, please help yourself to some food while we're having the program. Some of you are on lunch hour. No es malo si quieres servirle una comida durante el programa. La comida está allí. So don't feel shy or embarrassed if you need to get something to eat. It's all right, okay? Welcome to it. So Celeste was your greeter. Tracy is not here for opening remarks, but I'm sure she's really thrilled that you came today. And one of the things that she's really thrilled about is our city councilor, Leo Robinson, has declared a special proclamation. Does anyone know about it? Okay, Leo Robinson, nuestro concejal en la ciudad, nos hizo una proclamación. So I'm going to ask Leo to tell us a little more about it. And this, I have it here. Aquí está.
Good afternoon, everybody. It's good to be here with you today. We did do a resolution for Maya Angelou. Whereas Maya Angelou was born as Margarita Ann Johnson on April 4th, 1928 in St. Louis, Missouri, and as a young child later moved to Stamps, Arkansas, where she was raised by her paternal grandmother. Whereas in her early years, Maya attended Mission High School in San Francisco, California, where her love for the arts earned her a scholarship to study dance and drama at San Francisco's Labor School. And whereas after the birth of her son Guy, Maya, a single mother, worked tirelessly doing everything to support her son. However, her passion for poetry, music, and dance and theater would soon lead her to a big stage for such performances in the opera production of Porgy and Bess in 1954 and 55, danced with Alvin Ailey on several television variety shows, and by 1957 had recorded her first record album entitled Calypso Lady. And whereas Dr. Angelou exercised her political strengths becoming active in the civil rights movement, where she worked with Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and Malcolm X. And in 1959, at the request of Dr. King, served as the Northern Coordinator of the Southern Christian Leadership Conference. And whereas over the span of her lifetime, she has been recognized throughout the world as an American author, poet, historian, publishing 7 autobiographies, 3 books of essays, and countless books of poetry, dissecting her life experience and working, including titles such as Mom and Me and Mom, Letter to My Daughter, All God's Children Need Traveling Shoes, Still I Rise, and one of her most internationally acclaimed autobiographies, I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings, and that was in 1969, which focused on her childhood and was nominated for the National Book Award. And Dr. Angelou was also a Grammy Award winner. And whereas Dr. Angelou's presence as a teacher and lecturer was demanded internationally, she was invited by several United States presidents to serve in various capacities, such as the American Revolutionary Bicentennial Commission, the Presidential Commission for the International Year of the Women, and a request of President Bill Clinton composed a poem on the pulse of the morning, which he read at his inauguration in 1973. Whereas on May 28, 2014, at the age of 86, Maya Angelou passed away at her home in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Now therefore be it resolved that the Chelsea City Council hereby recognize the life of the phenomenal woman, Dr. Maya Angelou, for her creativity, uniqueness, talent, and legacy of literature that will live on forever. Be it further resolved that Chelsea City Council, on behalf of the citizens of Chelsea, hereby recognize February 21st, 2019 as Dr. Maya Angelou Day. So,
I want to thank Councilor Robinson for reading that. En un resumen en español muy breve, Maya Angelou era poetisa que inspiró a muchas generaciones. Era una persona que comenzó pobre, desdichada y desaventada y llegó a ser una fuerza mundial. Quiero decirles que ahora tenemos otra poetisa. We have another poet and versatile woman who's the phenomenon Celeste Williams. So first, but before we clap for her, do you realize what that proclamation says? This day is Maya Angelou Day all over Chelsea. So, este día, Maya Angelou Day all over Chelsea. When you see your friends, you say, Happy Maya Angelou Day, okay? Cuando ves tus amigos, feliz día de Maya Angelou. Okay, and now take it away, Celeste.
Wow. Gracias, Ms. Toro. Thank you, Mr. Leo Robinson. I appreciate you so much for stepping up, and you know this history is important to empower the women in our city. Also, many men has come and grown and been supported by Dr. Maya Angelou. She has sent many of them on to success. I don't know if many of you know that she was a hidden figure in the civil rights movement simply because she was in the arts. You know, she was into poetry, acting, you know, all the arts that we can mention that Leo Robinson mentioned. She had plenty of awards. This is a woman that had 55 doctrines in the educational field. So she spent her life educating people, and that's what we want to do here at the Senior Center for Black History Month. Every year, we want to bring somebody to you that can inspire you and push you forward, and you can be the next woman or man to educate our community. In saying that, there's a woman. It's not all about me today. It's all about Dr. Maya Angelou, okay? and we want to focus on her. But there's a woman I'm around all the time, and she has the height of Maya Angelou. She has the poise. I want to introduce to you Sharon Caulfield, the Chelsea Dean, Bump the Hill, Chelsea campus. Can we give a round of applause to Sharon Caulfield?
Muy brevemente, aquí tenemos la señora Sharon Caulfield. Ella es Assistant Dean. Ella es una oficial en Bunker Hill Community College aquí en Chelsea. Y vamos a darle la bienvenida.
I'd like to first thank Marianne and Celeste for inviting me out today. And I'd just like to say I'd like to thank the entire audience for being here today. This is a very good crowd today. I see a lot of my Chelsea Black community partners here. I see Grace McKinnon here. Brian and Leo Robinson. Lisa Santagate and many other people here. Thank you so very much. Leo said so much other stuff I'd like to say, so I'm just going to start with something kind of funny, okay? This is what Maya Angelou wrote, and it is one of her quotes. When my bones are stiff and aching, and my feet won't climb the stair, I will only ask one favor: don't bring me no rocking chair. When you see me walking, stumbling, don't study and get it wrong. 'Cause tired don't mean lazy, and every goodbye ain't gone. I'm the same person I was back then. A little less hair, a little less chin, a lot less lungs, and much less wind. But ain't I lucky I can still breathe in? That's one of her quotes. That's one of her quotes. And just to go back a little bit, and just to give you a little bit of background about Maya Angelou. Maya was definitely an awesome and a phenomenal woman, one of her poems titled. She was born in St. Louis, Missouri, and was given the name of Marguerite Annie Johnson at birth. She lived to be 86 years old. Maya Angelou came from a broken home where her parents separated when she was 3 years old. She moved around to several cities in her lifetime. She was first sent to live with her grandmother in Stamps, Arkansas. So she went from St. Louis, Missouri to Stamps, Arkansas. Sadly, she was sexually assaulted by her mother's boyfriend, and for vengeance, one of her uncles killed this man. So for 5 years, Maya Angelou, thinking that her tongues of what she told them was the cause of this man's death, she didn't speak to anyone except her brother for 5 years. She was a mother at the age of 16 years old, and her son, Guy, I believe, still lives to today. But through all of these trials and tribulations, Maya stood strong and developed into one of the most influential poets and writers in America today. Actually in the world. She's wide known, definitely. Not just America. But Maya was also a singer. She could sing, she could dance, and as Leo told you, she was a civil rights activist. She was active with Martin Luther King and also Malcolm X. Maya was also an actress and a screenplay writer. I don't know if any of you remember it, but many years ago, some of us may remember, she did a really nice scene with Richard Pryor. And I remember that too today. It was funny, but she was good. She was also a screenplay writer. And you know what? She played in Roots. And you know the role that she played in Roots? She was Kunta Kinte's grandmother. So she was his grandmother, and she acted while Kunta was still in Africa. Maya spoke French, Spanish, Hebrew, Italian, and Fante. Fante is a dialect of the country of Ghana. Maya published 7 autobiographies, 3 books of essays, several books of poetry, and is credited with a list of plays, movies, television shows, all of this spanning 50 years. As I mentioned, Maya was the mother of 1 son. She was mother of 1 grandson, and she's the great-grandmother of 2 children. I Know by the Cage Bird Sings, published 50 years ago, this year in 1969, is possibly her most prominent work. Her writings are studied by students across the world. In fact, I know one of the people that's pushed at Bunker Hill Community College where I work always use Maya Angelou as an example of a wonderful writer. First, her screenplay, these are some of her first. Her screenplay, Georgia, Georgia, in 1972, was the first original script by a black woman to be produced. She was the first African-American writer and poet to present at the inauguration of President Bill Clinton, and that was 1993. She was the first African-American woman to direct a major motion picture in 1998. Can you see that, guys? She was the first black woman to direct, and it was called Down in the Delta. She also was presented the Presidential Medal of Freedom by President, and you guys know who he is, Obama, in 2011.
We can do this.
One of her poems was also nominated for a Pulitzer Prize, and it was Just Give Me a Cool Drink of Water Before I Die. And she put 3 I's on it, D-I-I-I, die. There was a stamp issued by the U.S. Postal Service commemorating her memory in 2015, everybody.
Yes.
She was awarded over 30 honorary degrees. She never had a bachelor's degree or whatever, but she was awarded all these degrees because she was so good. Without a doubt, Maya Angelou was a phenomenal woman. When I see her writings, I see in her writing these things. This is what I see in it. I see forgiveness. I see hope and faith. I see determination. I see love. I see equality of the races. I see live life to the fullest, everybody. Live your life to the fullest. Stand strong. Tomorrow is another day, and hopefully a better one for everybody. And you know, guys, at this point, I hope you've been remembering or remember some of the things I said, because I bought 5 Dunkin' Donuts gift cards to give to people if you can answer these questions. How old was she when she died?
86.
Who said 86? You got it. All right.
All right.
86. Okay. What president chose her to present a poem at his inauguration, making her the first poet since Robert Frost presented. It was not Obama. Bill Clinton, all right. The poem was Bill Clinton. What was the name of her most critically acclaimed and prominent work? Lisa?
I know why the gatekeeper sings.
Yes, it is. I know why the gatekeeper sings. What president chose Maya for the Presidential Medal of Freedom? Who asked for this young lady right here? Raise her hand with the brown on. She said Obama. Okay. Oh yeah, definitely. All right. She's already answered. Let me see. I think I have everything here. That's it, everybody. Okay. And how old was she when her parents divorced?
What was the question?
How old was she when her parents divorced?
16. 3 years old.
3, yes.
We talked about this.
She was only 3 when her parents divorced, and that's when they moved to Stamps, Arkansas. And you know, to conclude this, everyone, I'd just like to read some of her quotes that I like. I've learned that people will never forget what you said. People will forget what you did. But people will let me start it all over again. I've learned that people will forget what you said. Will forget what you did. But people will never forget how you made them feel. So always remember that. This is for all of us to do this, possibly. I not only have the right to stand up for myself, but I have the responsibility to stand up for yourself. I can't ask somebody else to stand up for me. If I won't stand up for myself, and once you stand up for yourself, you would be surprised that people say, can I be of help? Hate. It has caused a lot of problems in the world, but it has not solved one yet. Remember that, everybody. Hate has not solved one problem yet. You alone are enough. You have nothing to prove to anybody. We may encounter many defeats, but we must not be defeated. I've learned that no matter what happens or how bad it seems today, life goes on and it will be better tomorrow. And this is another she said about race. It's very important to know the neighbor next door and the people down the street and the people of another race, everybody. Someone was hurt before you, wronged before you, hungry before you, frightened before you, beaten before you, humiliated before you, raped before you. Yet someone survived. You can do anything you choose to do. After all of these things, you still can do anything you choose to do. And just be a rainbow in someone else's cloud. Make them feel good. All great achievements require time. You have to put time and effort into great achievements. I don't trust anyone who doesn't laugh. That's the statement that she made. A woman's heart should be so hidden in God that a man has to seek him just to find her. Bitterness is like cancer. It eats upon the host, but anger is the fire it brings it all clean. And just one or two more back. We need joy as we need air. We need love as we need water. We need each other as we need the earth we share. And that's it, everybody.
I just want to say thank Sharon Caulfield is truly a phenomenal woman in Chelsea. And I think you agree. Es una mujer fenomenal. ¿Sí? Para los que hablan español, no sería posible decir todas las cosas importantes que dijo, pero nota en su mesa, hay 2 poemas traducidas en español, inglés, español. También hay tarjetas para regalar. En el dorsal de la tarjeta tiene el nombre de ella, algo sobre ella, y le invito a buscar más información sobre ella. Si necesita ayuda, me puede ver otro día. Gracias.
I have something also. I made a few handouts myself. I just put together some collected works that I like here. I just have maybe 20 copies. It's all in English, so those who cannot read in English, maybe your children or grandchildren can read it to you or someone else. But I'm going to pass out just a
Ella
few.
también tiene unos documentos sobre Maya Angelou para repartir. So let's call back Celeste Williams to keep. But before we do, thank you volunteers for helping us serve the food. Gracias voluntarias que nos ayudaron a servir. We have Trina, Hortensia, Brunilda. They are wonderful. They're phenomenal. Son mujeres fenomenales las tres. Que vivan.
Viva, señora. Gracias. Like Marian said, gracias for the volunteers. The women in the casita at the senior center are phenomenal. Okay, and I want to call them up. Mama Gusta, por favor. Mama Gusta, come up 1 minute.
Gusta Escalera, por favor. La querés reconocer.
Yeah. Come on. Vale, comida está bien. If no comida, I want you to come up. These women are the women of the casita. When I first came to the senior center, they welcomed me with open arms. From the first time we had this event, this was my support system. Right here. Right here. And Mommy Trina, what are you? What are you?
Una mujer fenomenal.
Mi nombre es Trina Loza, ahí tengo viniendo al Senior Center como 12 años. Gracias a todos por acompañarnos en ese centro. Y thank you for you. Gracias Mariana, que son los que nos hacen fuertes. Gracias a Ricky, que es el que nos hace que toda la gente nos vea, y los invitamos a que pasen a nuestro centro. Y hay una fenómena mujer.
Okay.
Me gusta María Escalera, soy la coordinadora de la fiesta. Aquí la pasamos bien rico, bailamos, comimos, hicimos una unidad bien bonita. Aquí, para que vengan todos ustedes que están ahí. ¿Ok? Bye bye.
Hi, welcome everyone to the Senior Center of Chelsea. Y gracias por venir a todas las hispanas, all the people here. We welcome. We are different ethnic. I'm from Puerto Rico, and I'm enjoying the Senior Center like for a half year already because I was sick, you know. But welcome everyone, and we are phenomenal women. Mujeres fenomenales y luchadoras, and doesn't matter if we are all people where we are younger, you know, already. but we are still doing things in the community, and we are still doing things for ourselves. We don't stay sleeping all day, you know. We are still alive. We are phenomenal.
The ladies who speak Spanish were giving great testimonials about themselves in our center, and I thank them. And I know there's more, but I want to say something. If you don't see someone in a mic, that doesn't mean they're not phenomenal. Everyone in this room is phenomenal. Todos ustedes son phenomenal.
This is my friend, one of my best friends. She is going to tell you her age, and women don't usually tell their age, but she's proud to be the age she is because she didn't get here by accident. All right? She's gone through some stuff. She's an artist, still doing her art. She's a poet. She still writes. She does Tai Chi. This is one of my amazing friends, Helen. And you speak from your heart, and you say what you feel.
Well, everybody in the senior center, I have made a life here. I have learned here. This is a wonderful place. And it is, shall I say, everybody is on the same level. Nobody feels any different. Into my life. I mean, she's a light. She lighted up. And also, Mary Ann was here for me when I came as a grieving widow, got me out of my doldrums, and look at me. And I'm 98 years old.
98 people, 98
I was born August 25th, 1920. The day before women got the right to vote. That's kind of an anniversary.
This is your day too. Thank you so much. And let me show you back to your seat.
You're a wonderful audience. Todos ustedes son un público muy especial. I just want to say that we want to keep our program moving, but if you need to come and tell us something, come and tell us. Because we're looking forward to hearing from our keynote speaker. And are you her presenter?
Yes, I am going to present Miss Grace McKinnon. Is she in the room? Let's bring her up. Okay.
This is Grace McKinnon.
Yes. Grace McKinnon, a Chelsea resident since 1977, came to help start the Chelsea citywide summer camp. A specialist in civil rights and equal access issues. Worked in programs for children and families in Chelsea, nonprofits. Para Care About Now became a liaison between Chelsea City Hall and nonprofit organizations. Served as an affirmative action fair housing director to help the city meet compliance standards.
Shall we talk to them?
School age director at Capic after school program. Multi-year involvement in Chelsea's citywide program. Volunteered in Chelsea Latin American Festival Committee, and more recently in the Generations Incorporated program at Chelsea Boys and Girls Club. Also performed at the Chelsea Public Library literary event. And this is why Miss Grace McKinnon is receiving a certificate today. And I'm going to let Miss Marian Ramos take over and submit that certificate to Miss Grace. I am honored to know Miss Grace. I've been knowing her in the community for years, but always looked at her from a distance as somebody that I would like to be later on in spirit, because her spirit is phenomenal. I've watched her help people that nobody would help. Like actually put down what she's doing to sacrifice her time for someone else. That's an amazing person, and that's why I love her. Thank you, Miss Grace.
Okay, thanks Celeste for reading that. There's a last minute entry point that Miss Grace McKinnon was also president of the board of directors for North South Mental Health. But yeah, you can clap. But I just want to say, en español, brevemente, Grace McKinnon lleva desde el año 77 en Chelsea. Y ella vino ¿para qué? Para una lucha, para luchar para derechos civiles aquí en Chelsea. Hacía falta algunas reformas. Y Grace fue una de las personas para comenzar reformas que ayudaron a hacer Chelsea lo que es hoy en día y que sigue echando para adelante para hasta un mejor futuro. So I want to say that one in English too. One of the great things about Grace, this is a Lifetime Achievement in Chelsea Award, not just a Today Award. Because when you think about it, Grace started a process here, a reform in the city. She came to help reform situations around civil rights and accessibility in the 19th century. The 20th century, sorry, 1977, and she's been doing it ever since in different ways. And the Chelsea City Hall that we have today has benefited from some of the groundwork that she laid. So that's worth applause. So, entre muchas cosas, ella ha ayudado mucho a la comunidad en su carrera y como voluntaria y conoce muchas generaciones de gente en Chelsea, pero voy a dejarle a ella misma la plataforma, ¿ok? So, Grace, I wanted to give you an award before you said anything else, but I hope you will say something else. Le voy a dar su presentación, aunque va a hablar también, no es el fin, es el comienzo. So, I know that this award was first thought of by Miss Celeste Williams, so we want to give her credit for her good judgment. And Miss Tracy Nowicki would have been here to present it, but since she's not, I get to do it. So, but I hope you feel better, Tracy. But anyway, I'm glad to be here with her and this award. That this is not for what she did today or last year, but for her whole time in Chelsea. So thank you for your achievements in Chelsea. Gracias por sus logros aquí en Chelsea.
I can't believe Celeste is encouraging me to talk. I almost like me when I hear all this recitation of achievements. I really want to start by saying I was a military brat. I grew up traveling globally. I lived in some Bama towns like Corvallis, Oregon, where we were the lone little raisin in the oatmeal. You know, I've lived in German townhouses and English pubs and everything else in between. Went to school in a Quonset hut. So with all that nomadic living, it was very important for me to find out where is home. Okay. When my father was sent out to defend the United States, and we became the Army of Occupation in Germany, and I was a little 10-year-old girl, black girl, in Germany, wondering, well, wait a minute, we won, so we get to stand up and say this. But does it mean that we're right? Okay, because this was the civil rights era. This was in the 1960s. And I saw my father in uniform, a black man, okay, come up and say this is a great land and they have great values, and I'm like, well, wait a minute. Okay, wait a minute. I remember a little bit about America, and my conclusion was, we're not living true. We're not living true when we ask people to say that we're wonderful, follow us. This is our way of life. But we hurt our own. When our own cannot gather as you've gathered here today, this is an unusual achievement. How many different cultural backgrounds are in this room? Not just African American, Latin, Asian, all of the, my mother used to say, all the Heinz 57 of us. All the mutts.
We can do that.
And, you know, if you're looking for a pure pedigree in America, you're going to be looking for a long time. We came from somewhere, we have histories, and all of us deserve the right to celebrate that history. The only way to do that is to talk to the others who don't know you yet. When you go out in the world, shake a hand, make a friend. Okay. It happened to me when I came to Chelsea. I had to correct one thing. This says a phenomenal woman. And yes. I think it needs to be the plural. We're men. None of us live in isolation. And in recognizing those that went before us and those who are coming behind us, we recognize that we're part of a river of change. We have an obligation to listen to our elders and speak to our youth. We have an obligation to look at who's traveling on the journey with you. Whatever their circumstances and challenges, who are we to judge? We have an opportunity to influence the lives of other people, and thereby we become the ripples in the pond that become the ripples in the ocean, and that's how we affect global change. I want to illustrate this point by letting you know one of the reasons I'm here is because Maya Angelou was very significant in my history. I was at Emerson College, okay, little post-starving. I was a college student, had a job, or thought I had a job, teaching cornrowing in one of the summer camps in Roxbury. But the job fell through. And the organizer apologized to me because, of course, they told me too late. And here I am, dead broke in the middle of the summer, got to get ready for school, don't know where my next dime is coming from. And then I received a blessing. She called me and said, you know, the Sonia Hamlin show is going to host Maya Angelou. Okay, and they want somebody to illustrate how to cornrow hair. Would you do that? I said, honey, I'll do anything to stand on a stage with Maya Angelou. No problem. So that's my first professional gig. My debut was made with Maya Angelou. So when word got around at Emerson that I was going to Channel 4, I think it was, all everybody in the world wanted to show their head. Okay, there were men, women, everybody wanted to be the models. So we took about 6 people, we'd done all their hair, we showed how you need to go about it. And Maya Angelou was standing with Sonia Hamlin. She came across the stage and she just, as casually as can be, said, you know, my niece does this. And she was there, she was present. Not as a star. She was an auntie. She took the time to talk to my group from Emerson, all 6 or 7 of us, and she was encouraging and curious about us because this is 6 black kids from all across the globe who were beginning a journey she had already succeeded in. But the time she took, her generosity, in talking to us made the difference in all of our lives. We've gone on to do all kinds of things. Some became dancers, danced in Paris, danced in Rome. Some became poets. Some are writers. Some write for television. Some write for newspapers. and some go out and do things like get involved with the community in Chelsea. Because for me, it was about taking performance energy and putting it into our lives. You see, in theater, we work hard in rehearsal for 8 weeks. We give it our all. And then there's the do or die moment. You're ready or you're not. This thing is going up. And you're going to stand on your merits. And you're going to face critics. And sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. Mostly it's a mixed bag. But you have to be able to receive that feedback and internalize it and hopefully reincarnate it as a higher level thing. Always going forward, that's the intention. So my life in Chelsea is part of my intention to make my life a work in progress. It's not done. There's always something that needs to be crafted, refined, and the next person might be the one who's going to be my teacher for the day. Okay. And when we talk about phenomenal women, yes, my Angelou makes a lot of sense to promote her. But I'm telling you, there's an old tradition in the Southern Black culture where you call people's name when they're passing over. You remember them. You literally call their name because we want to give it to the air that this person walked among us, and we're going to salute and send them on. And so I'd like to call the name of a couple, okay? And if you know these people, please. I remember the day I was confronted by this force of nature known as Ms. Emmeline Cromwell. I was horrified to hear people call her Porky. I was like, I can't do that. I'm a nice little colored girl. I cannot call her Porky. So I would just avoid her name. When I speak, I say, yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. Anything you say, ma'am. Miss Cromwell? Okay. And she's like, Grace. And she's very direct, very bold, and she had a way of getting people to do things. Okay. If you've been a Catholic, half a Catholic is a result of her advocacy. Excuse me for a second. If you go to Catholic now, if you go to any black organization, there's a Cromwell there. All right, and this is not to say that they came out of the womb ready to go and do civil rights work. Okay, they partied along the way, and I got a phone call once in a while. Ms. Cromwell said, "Philip is acting up. Talk to him." Okay, she said, "Grace, you got this. I wanted to go there. Do this, do that." She almost broke into tears the day she heard that I was going to be going from the summer camp and going over to North Suffolk Mental Health. And she actually came and advocated, almost begged me to don't leave Catholic, stay here. I mean, you made a commitment to the kids. I know you could have better and do better and make a good living and all that, but please, please stay here. And I did. I reassured her that my involvement with the Chelsea Citywide is multi-year. We're looking for the people from the community who can run a program, not have it given to them or run by outsiders. You can raise your own, you can do your own. You only need to learn how to do this task. And that was what we called sunset management. Your whole objective is to put yourself out of business. I come first, maybe, but I won't be here last. And we'll let everybody audition in these roles of community leaders. When doors were closed before, we're going to be inviting people to come through. Okay? My invitation to Chelsea came through Linda Alioto Robinson. She went to school with me at Emerson. And she had gotten a job in East Boston, running a summer camp there. And they wanted to partner with Chelsea, a sister program in Chelsea. So the first year they opened the doors, the 10 and 12-year-old group killed off 3 teachers in 1 week. So I got a phone call that said, Grace, I was at Dare School of Boston, another bunch of wonderful challenges, and said, well, you're on vacation, right? Why don't you come over here? I said, okay, I'm bored, let's go. I had like 3 days into vacation, I was ready to kill, okay? I came out here, and my very first day, I went to the Y, I go up to go on the 2nd floor, and a milk carton flies by my eyes. That's how wild this place was. I was like, oh yeah, this is going to be great joy. Okay. The next thing that happened, there was a little lady who came. She said, don't worry, I take care of it. And that lady was my second person that I want to mention, Maria Figueroa. Maria Figueroa is the mayor of Chelsea as far as I'm concerned. She can quote the genealogy of every Latin family here. This is when the family came to Chelsea. This is how they brought others. It's from the town. This one went off and married, became successful, did this, did that. She knows it cold. And if you've ever met Maria, you need to know. Okay, I got it. You need to know that she is truly blessed to live her values. Her mother, Abuela, had been a missionary in Puerto Rico, and she ruled the roost. And her children went forward to live those values and help this community. If you know Letty Ortiz, if you know Frank over at the Veterans Affairs, you know Maria Figueroa's family. If you know Leo Robinson, Ron Robinson, they were part of her family. If you know the Cromwells, the Martins, she opened her arms to all kinds of people. I'd like to take this time to invite you to help me participate in a gesture, a salute to the phenomenal women in your life. I don't need to know who they are. I don't need to know their name. But if you can call their name in your heart once a day, you do honor to the legacy of Angelou. It's my opportunity to come here today to speak to you about a real person that walked among us. Okay, she shook my hand, she embraced me, she corresponded, and I can give that message to you. Genius does not live in isolation. Genius is sponsored. Okay, when you help that little child learn to read, when you snatch that little boy from danger and tell him, you can't go this way, there's trouble, go this way, you honor her. No. So if you could take the time, maybe come up and speak to the camera later on, I'd appreciate it. Honor those and honor this quality within yourself. You are all phenomenal, and I may not know your history, but I can tell you, I see it in your hearts when I go through the streets of Chelsea. Thank you.
We have another good applause for Grace.
Vale la pena que ella vuelva otro día a ser traducida completamente. But ella dice que observaron el corazón del pueblo a través de los tiempos, el corazón de ustedes.
There's a group that Celeste is going to debut for us.
A new group on the horizon.
The future
leaders of Chelsea.
Okay, so I want to welcome the Chelsea Collaborative, the muchachas from the Chelsea Collaborative. They're here today because they did their homework. They found out that the cage bird sings, okay? And they wanted to contribute to Black History Month. Black history is everyone's history, and I'm so glad that they took the time, did their homework to be inspired by Dr. Maya Angelou's words, and they have some beautiful inspirational art that came through them from reading the literature. So I want to introduce to you Miss Annalise. Could you please come forward?
Hello. Hi, everyone. Bienvenidos. My name is Anais. I am from the Chelsea Collaborative. I am the director of Deseo Soñar, which is a middle school program, grades 6 through 8. We have about 10 girls right now. We focus on the expression through arts, through music, through robots, through writing, through reading. And we really encourage these young girls to be proud of who they are. They come from strong Latina women and strong Latino men, so we just encourage all of them to continue expressing themselves. And this month we celebrated Black History Month, and we read some of Maya Angelou's poems, and one of them was The Caged Bird, and these are the arts that came from Caged Bird. And we also read Phenomenal Woman because, of course, we have phenomenal young girls here. Should I say it in Spanish really quick?
Habla español.
Okay, I'll try. Mi nombre es Anaís, soy de la colaborativa de Chelsea. Yo soy la directora de Deseo Soñar. Es un programa para niñas y niños de grados hacia 8. Enfocamos en la expresión de arte, música, robóticos, leyendo, escribiendo. Y aquí tenemos parte de las niñas que tenemos en el programa. Este mes enfocamos en Black History Month y leemos un par de poemas de Maya Angelou y el arte que ellos se inspiraron por los poems que leemos. Pero vamos a dejar que las niñas hablen del arte que ellos hicieron. We're going to let the girls talk about the art that they did. And some of them are going to say it in Spanish and I'll just translate it, okay?
Muy buenas tardes a todos. Yo me inspiré a pintar esta pintura porque yo creo que todas las mujeres merecemos ser libres. No, nadie tiene que estarnos mandando y ordenando qué hacer. Nosotros tenemos nuestros derechos para ser las personas que nosotros queremos hacer. Nosotros tenemos nuestras ideas. Nosotros sabemos lo que queremos ser. Cuando nosotros somos grandes, por ejemplo, nosotros tenemos lo que nosotros queremos hacer. Ustedes ya fueron personas, ustedes creyeron en su futuro, ustedes lucharon por su futuro, ahora son las personas que son porque ustedes creyeron en sí mismos. Yo pinté esta pintura porque la verdad significa para mí que ser libre es vivir, porque la libertad es como estar libre sin hacer nada. O sea, creo que
so we can see your painting because I think it's so beautiful and I love the words.
So yo creo que para mí es muy importante que las personas miren lo que cada quien opina, porque yo opino diferente a lo que ustedes opinan, porque todos piensan diferente, todos tienen sus mismos pensamientos, o yo opino que para mí ser libre es vivir. Gracias.
To sum it up, Daniela says that she painted that because she believes in freedom and she came from her country to here, and she believes that having an opinion here and having goals and having future is important to her, especially as young women, that we don't have a say, sometimes we're undermined and sometimes we're over overlooked by our opinions, but she says that we have opinions and we all deserve to have freedom in what we say.
Hola, hi. This drawing might not be perfect, but it does show this bird is caged up. It's tied up, and that's why it wants to sing. That's why it wants to dance. It wants to liberate its freedom and dance and sing and help that without violence, like, no violence in the civil rights movement. There was no violence at all. And this bird I just painted him. I didn't know what I was thinking. I just painted him.
Annalise, español, por favor. She's working on the Spanish.
She said, ella dijo, ella dijo que este pájaro, gracias, este pájaro estuvo en como una cárcel, el cage que ella pintó, pero está libre ahora porque nosotros necesitamos ser empoderados de no tener violencia, tener freedom of speech, so libertad para hablar y para tener también libertad.
I'll translate. So her name is Kenya.
Hi, Kenya.
Mi nombre es Kenia y yo pinté esto porque, como dicen aquí mis amigas, que pues, somos libres y pues yo pinté esta pintura porque
So she also painted this because of the inspiration throughout the poem Cage Bird Sings. So she believes in freedom as well. Thank you so much.
Oh, you want to show yours? We have two more. Come on, muchachos. You gotta, okay, be free, darling, be free. It's okay. No pressure. Okay.
Hi, my name is Jocelyn. You know Miss Jocelyn? And I draw this because of the poem and because music is really another way to show.
It's okay, baby. Don't be scared. Don't be scared of the microphone. It won't hurt you. But wait a minute. Oh my God.
Music is another way to spread, like art is another way to express our feelings and how we feel. And I think art is like, at least to me, helps me when I'm in sad moments and angry moments. Like when I feel depressed, she showed me to like, at least it will be not the best, but just to be creative and show like the best possible to show my feelings and remember that I'm somebody that really like to be.
En pocas palabras, ella dijo que música como arte es una forma de expresión y cuando ella está como de mal humor, ella pinta o escucha música y eso puede ayudarle a sentirse más positiva. Okay? Thank you so much for watching.
So this is the group based in the Chelsea Human Services Collaborative.
What is the name of your group?
Tiene un nombre especial. Could somebody say that?
Our program is called Deseo Soñar. I wish to dream.
Just so you know, that something brand new and some new people who are rising up to make a difference in Chelsea. So I want to thank everyone. Okay, I want to thank everyone for your listening so far. And now back to Celeste Williams.
Okay, we have some CBC members in the house today. I would like to introduce Miss Joan Cromwell. She is the president of the CBC. All month long, we have had a phenomenal, when I say phenomenal, we've had a phenomenal calendar going. Okay, and we still have more events to come, so we want you to come out for that. But Ms. Joan is here to further that agenda. That's right. And we do have more CBC members in here. If you would like to stand up, CBC members.
They're here.
Oh, they're here with their shot. All right. Thank you for coming.
All right, good afternoon. I'm just going to be short and brief. I'm so glad I did make it here today. I swam, ran, jumped, but I got here and a little late, but I'm so glad that I came today, and I'm blessed because I had the pleasure of listening to wonderful, wonderful, phenomenal women such as Helen, who is amazing, and Grace. I tip my hat to you over and over again. I was blessed to hear the impact my mom had in this community, and I am so proud. So I just know that to become a phenomenal woman, I have some big shoes to fill. And it's just heroes like Helen and Grace and my mom, Emmeline Cromwell, that I walk the walk and talk the talk. And I hope to grow up to be just like each and every one of you women. So let's give a hand. I just wanted to mention that the Black History Month Planning Committee, we have some members here as well. Ron Robinson, Celeste, as well as CBC, joined together, Latimer Society, Bunker Hill Community College, to put together an out-of-sight dynamite program for the whole month of February. And we're tired, but we're still moving on.
Yes.
I also appreciate the collaborative coming through, because it shows that we all walk the same walk, we all talk the same walk, we all experience the same aspects in life to get us to where we're going. So whether we're Latino, whether we're Black, whether we're Asian, we all are one people, and it's just a circle of life that we're all traveling together. So we should continue to do that, and I think Chelsea is that melting pot to bring it together to show the world who we are. So kudos to that.
We are blessed today with information. I mean, women, we face a lot of things in life, but we have outlets. We have places where we can go. So we have Harbor Cove here today, just to explain just a little bit about what they do. So Nancy, would you come up?
Vienen a hablarnos un poquito sobre el programa Harbor Cove, ¿ok?
Hi, good afternoon. Buenas tardes todos. I don't speak Spanish fluently, no hablo español perfectamente, pero voy a intentar. I am a staff person at Harbor Cove, which is a community organization that supports individuals and families experiencing domestic violence. Yo trabajo en una organización que se llama Harbor Cove y brindamos servicios para individuos y familias que están en situaciones de violencia doméstica. It's really my honor to be here today, so thank you so much, Celeste, Senior Secretary, for inviting me. And I'm here also with my colleague, Aoife Franklin, who is our youth specialist. He's estar aquí, estoy aquí con mi colega Ife, que trabaja con los jóvenes. And I just want to say that Maya Angelou is one of my favorite people, and I only learned through Celeste that she's a survivor of sexual abuse and domestic violence. Maya Angelou es una de las personas que yo admiro mucho en el mundo, y no sabía antes de hablar con Celeste que ella es una sobreviviente de violencia doméstica y sexual. Entonces, para mí es un gran honor de estar aquí para hablar de cómo ella es como un líder para nosotros. And so it's really an honor for me to be able to say that Maya Angelou's life is a model for us to follow, because not only did she survive and heal from the trauma of the rape she experienced as a child, and she was also in a very violent relationship as a teenager with her boyfriend, that she thrived and became the incredible, the phenomenal woman, writer, activist, and I guess heroine of peace that she was. Entonces, para mí, su vida es como un testimonio de cómo personas, mujeres, podemos sobrevivir y además de ser personas grandes en el mundo, a pesar de lo que estamos pasando en la vida. So, we at Harbor Cove work with people from all backgrounds, and that's something that not all domestic violence organizations do. So we work with youth, we work with seniors, we work with people from the LGBTQ community, from all different cultural communities. We have a lot of colleagues who speak Spanish, we have Portuguese speakers, and I think a few Haitian Creole speaker. We're trying to increase our capacity all the time. And the other thing about Harbor Cove is we define domestic violence very broadly. We don't only look at domestic violence as violence between romantic partners or intimate partners, but we consider domestic violence any violence that happens in the home. So, yo mencioné que a Harbor Cove trabajamos con todas, no solamente mujeres, pero también hombres. Of course, men should also work with men. Personas de todas las edades, las personas de tercera edad y también los jóvenes, aunque los adultos, y que también comprendimos que la violencia doméstica no es solamente violencia entre parejas, pero también violencia en la casa. Cualquier violencia, estamos aquí, ¿okay? Para apoyar a ustedes. So, we have many programs, and we also want to just say that we need to work as a community to end violence. And I've heard already from many of the speakers that that is also your vision of the world, right? That was Maya Angelou's vision of the world. Freedom, like freedom from violence, freedom from oppression, freedom from all forms of inequality. And so thank you for being here. And we're here in Chelsea. Our main office is here. We have information on the table. So if you would like any kind of service, community-based, we have some emergency housing services as well as transitional housing, legal services and immigration services as well. We're available. We also like to bring the community together to celebrate life as well, because we want bread, but also roses. And just yesterday, Ife headed up an amazing Black History Month gathering, so gracias. Thank you, Ife. So you're all welcome to join us anytime or to refer people that you know. Entonces, solo para terminar, nosotros brindamos servicios legales, asesoría, también tenemos refugio y apartamentos para gente que están tratando de
Rebuild.
Para rehacer sus vidas. Y entonces estamos aquí. Hay información allá en la mesa. Entonces, si ustedes quieren recibir servicios, ustedes conocen gente que tal vez pueden beneficiar, por favor. Okay.
This has been a wonderful program. I want to thank everyone. I mean everyone. I am so thankful that you came out today, even though it didn't look like we were going to have good weather, right? We made it out, so that's a blessing in itself. I hope that we can come together as a community and really, really, really advocate for us to have more cultural events where we celebrate each other's culture. We have a responsibility to every child, every senior, and every millennial, right? We have a responsibility for each one to teach one. And that's what we're trying to achieve here every year, is we're gonna bring, we don't wanna be battered down, right? By thinking that we have a slave mentality or we have a victim mentality. We wanna be empowered by what we can do to come up from that and make things better for everyone that crosses your path and everyone who is in your life. And I appreciate you, Miss Grace, one more time. Harvard Girl, thanks for being here. Joe Congo. We have Miss Lisa from TNT in the house, also an artist, also a school teacher, also been to Africa and all that good stuff. Building community is one of her fortes. She's right now unavailable to come to the mic because she is acting right now at the Apollo Theater. Okay, in the choir. And the name of the play is called Christians. If you can get out to see it, I have rave reviews on it, so I'm telling you, it's good. Go out and see it. Good dialogue, good time. Tickets are cheap. Don't say you can't dig in there and get about $30 out of there. Go get your ticket and be inspired, okay? That's a final thought for today, is to be inspired.
So I know you guys have been sitting a long time and you're thirsty and life goes on, but thanks for spending your time with us today. Yo sé que han sentado mucho, ya tienen sed, ya tienen otra cosa que hacer, but thank you for staying with us. Thank you for being part of this. Gracias por participar. Again, I want to give you all of our greatest applause, and let's be phenomenal today. Thank you, Ricky, and Channel 3 Cable. We can't do without Ricky Velez and Channel 3. Thank you all. Bye-bye.